Hello, hello, hello. Good evening. It is terrific Tuesday. Turn it around Tuesday. This is your host of the Angela Hayes podcast, Angela Hayes herself, Life with No Limits. We are here once again, joining you here on Facebook and on YouTube. So, those of you that are coming on, I ask that you would go ahead, like, subscribe to the YouTube channel, Angela Hayes, and like and follow us on Facebook on our business page where actually we actually go live there every Tuesday. So you want to join us there as well. So Unique Foundations Enterprise is our page, and we just welcome you here today to the broadcast once again. We are still super excited. Here on the podcast, we share information, insights, opportunities, and stories from business owners, entrepreneurs, professionals, community leaders, members, and ministers. And we are just delighted to do that in this season of life. We're grateful for the opportunity to provide a platform and a broadcast to those of you that are gifted, talented, or skilled or knowledgeable in your area, in your work, and in your sphere of influence. And so I just want to let you know, as a special announcement, always we open it up for you to donate, make a donation to this podcast. You can do that donation by Zelling the podcast at 979-334-2648. Again, to make your donations. Any size gift donation is appreciated at 979-334-2648. Go ahead, like and subscribe, and share this video, share this information with your friends, family, and those that you maybe perhaps work with. And so today here on the podcast, we're going to share some of the exciting things and some of the tips and information that we shared this year, which was last weekend at the Powerful Journey Women's Conference that was held in McKinney, Texas. I want to give my very own broadcasting team a shout out and a thank you, GMT Radio, GMT Broadcasting. You need their services. Go ahead and make that connection, because now is the time. So thank you all so much at GMT Broadcasting for hosting this podcast. And so I want to just segue into our video, our video that we had for the conference, and just highlight and continue to congratulate our newest published authors. So stay tuned for this video. All right, all right, all right. Congratulations. Congratulations is in order to those ladies that you have seen on that video. I want to share that with you again. We have been running the video coming up to the conference, but I just wanted to show you every person that you saw on that video is now an official published author. Some are 2 times, 3 times published authors, but a great big congratulations to all my author sisters and brothers that took the stage in McKinney, Texas on last Saturday to share their stories with the Powerful Journey attendees, those that were attending virtually as well. And so I am super proud of them. I want to say congratulations and just keep moving in that which God has placed in you, that has given you in your story. And those that took the stage to share their stories, and also those that hosted a breakout session, a workshop session. Um, I thank God for each one of those facilitators, one being myself. I am grateful for the opportunity to have served in that capacity at the conference and those that attended that particular room. Because I tell you, if I tell you that God was definitely in the room and everything that people needed, they received at the Women's Powerful Journey Conference. But I want to take this special moment right now to say thank you, Phyllis Jenkins, our CEO and founder of the Powerful Journey organization. I thank her because she has pushed us, she has served us in such a way that has inspired us and strengthened us on our journey of writing. And I just want to give her thank you to her and the Powerful Journey team for the work of excellence that you provided to the conference and to also to our guests. And so I am forever grateful for the work that you are doing there in McKinney and Plano in the DFW area, Phyllis Jenkins. And we, as your author sisters and author brothers, are here for the entire journey. So I want to send that shout out to you today. And may the Lord's blessings continue to rest upon you as you continue to do the work in your community and all across the world. I also just wanted to say thank you to my family and friends that attended the conference. Those, they know who they are, very special people to me. I am so grateful that you were there with me and could share in that moment. And I appreciate your support. I appreciate your love and how you continue to just push me and propel me into my next. And so it's just so much gratitude here today. And if anything else, people, I will say to you on this broadcast today, always keep a heart of gratitude, keep a heart of thanksgiving, and be grateful for the people that God has brought into your life and those that He has assigned to your destiny, assigned to your purpose, and the ones that they stick in with you on those days when it gets toughest. There may be a word that they bless you with. It just may even be, their presence. And so I just encourage those of you out there today that's listening to this broadcast, always have a heart of gratitude. Because one thing I have learned in this life and on this journey, that gratitude, it really does, with your attitude, it really does determine that your altitude. And so today, I just kind of want to segue into what I want to talk about today. I want to talk to you today because I did have that opportunity to talk to that audience in that room on last week. I'm not going to do all the activities that we did, but I want to just touch on some of the things that I spoke about. And you can see in my background, you can pick up the book if you have not already. I do have some also on hand. More Than Meets the Eye, Made in His Image, which is found on Amazon, or you can contact me personally and I can ship your book to you. I appreciate your support. And one thing I want to ask all of those that purchase the book, please go to Amazon and leave us your feedback. Leave us your comments on Amazon so we can know what the book is saying to you. How did it help you, and what areas of life did it actually inspire you and challenge you to go to a deeper place within yourself. And so today, as we talk about just some of the pieces that were shared at the conference in the workshop that I hosted, which was called The Real. And so REAL, those acronyms stand for the Royal Exceptional Authentic Lady. Now, hey, I talk to ladies, but you know what, man, y'all can take a piece of this message as well, because there is no respect of person. But you are worth the work. So I just want you to know that you are worth the work. What kind of work? What kind of work are you saying? And please feel free to chime in the comments. Leave us a comment. Leave us something that resonates with you here today. You are worth the work. What kind of work? You are worth the work of self-discovery and introspection. So it takes us doing the introspective work within ourselves, with ourselves. Okay. And so we, a lot of times in society, and as we have come along in life, there has been things that have shaped our mindsets. There have been things that have shaped our behaviors in our cultures, different types of influences in our schools, in our communications, in our behaviors, and so in our interaction, and information, things that have been filtered into us, whether that was from growing up, whether that's from maybe being bullied as a child. I share in my book portions of that. I'm very candid in this book and transparent about my life in this book. And these are just pieces of my life, but I'm very candid and very transparent because I wanted to be real with the readers to know that I am she, that I am you. I've been there. I have walked in these shoes, and I'm here to walk with you on your journey. But one of the things that I've learned over the past years is that I am worth the work. I am worth it. It's worth me spending my time and my effort on becoming the best version of me, right? And so who does not want to be the best version of themselves? Have you tapped into the best version of yourself? Are you walking in divine alignment with what the will of the Father has for your life? And if your answer to that question is no, why not? And what are you waiting on? And who are you waiting on? We are the best cheerleader. We are the best motivators for ourselves, because everything that we do in life, every decision that we make in life, for our families, for ourselves, for our relationships, for our businesses, even in the workplace, those of you that may be leaders, maybe industry leaders, for your teams, everything begins with us. Everything starts with us, then it flows out. But there are some key things that you must do so that your life will reflect that of the Father, because we are made in his image, created in his likeness. And so we have to do the work of self mastery. And that part there is what I want to first segue in today with you, is talking about self mastery. But I want to start with self awareness. So we have to beware of ourselves. I know all this sounds, I know it kind of sounds, maybe it sounds a little selfish, but guess what? If we don't know what's going on in the inside of us, we can't be better for other people. And so I just want to read to you today the definition of self awareness. So it is defined as the ability to tune in to your feelings, thoughts, and your actions. Being able to recognize how other people see you. When someone is self-awareness, they also recognize their own strengths and their challenges. And so becoming more self-aware, you have to be able to tune into your feelings, thoughts, and actions, because your feelings will determine your actions and how you perceive things. Now look, sometimes we will feel fear, we will feel anxiety, we can feel, it's all type of feelings that we can feel, because we are three-dimensional people. We are body, soul, and spirit. And so our soul, our mind, we receive thoughts, and we have to tune in to the fact that what is going on the inside of me. So, say for instance, if it's something that sets you off, made you mad, let's just keep it real, something that kind of frustrated you. I've learned how to master that. I used to be one that would get frustrated and in anxiety real quick. But there was tools and techniques that I started implementing in my life that helped me to self-govern. But I had to be real with Angela. I had to be real with myself and acknowledge the fact that this emotion was going on with me at the time. And so when that emotion would come up, well, guess what? There were all type of thoughts that would start running through my mind. And so in the book, I talk about a toxic relationship that I decided to exit it a few years back. Well, that was when that deeper work really began to start, after I made the decision to take the exit. I began to tune in. I began to take a deeper look, a closer look on the feelings, the emotions that were taking place within me. I had to be real with myself. Okay, ladies, are we going to be real with us, or are we going to blame somebody else? Are we going to play the blame game, or are we going to be real? Are we going to rise to the occasion of who God has really wants us to be? Well, that's going to take you taking a real walk and an introspective look with yourself. It's going to be some ugly, it's going to be some bad, it's going to be some indifference, but I promise you, once you acknowledge and you begin to do the work with you, you will be a better version of yourself. You will be better for everybody else around you. It's a real thing. And but I want to say this to someone out there today. Now, I didn't do this by myself. This was not Angela, me, myself, and I work. This was me and the Lord Himself helping me along the journey. So on this podcast, this is a Christian-based podcast. So I just want to make sure, because if I didn't say it at the top, I want to say it again. This is a Christian-based podcast. And one thing that I know for certain is I can't do nothing. You can do nothing on your own. And you can do nothing by yourself. We didn't wake up on our own. We didn't do anything. We didn't obtain anything on our own. But it was all because of the grace of God. So God continues to walk with you if you allow Him on your journey. And He has given you the ability, in case you don't know it, you have the ability to become the best version of you. It's already on the inside. So you have to recognize your strengths and your challenges. What are those areas in that you are strong in? What are your strong suits? Identify them. What areas you may be strong in communication? You may be strong, you may have a strong personality. Now that's been something, I'm telling y'all the real lady, that's been something that I've walked through and have struggled through in life, having a strong personality. Now in the book I talk about how, and if you even read my forward, I was a very shy, timid young lady, but through life I began to speak up for myself. And so, but the speaking up came from a place of being used, being hurt, for being abandoned, from being rejected. And so my delivery was not always received because of the place within me that was still in shambles, okay? Still broken, still dealing with rejection. And so I had to learn how to fine tune and how to hone in on that. And then really take that strength and channel it in a positive way, in a way that would not, should I say, cut somebody or offend someone. I'm talking to somebody today. So you have to do the work to see, where am I strong at? What am I good at? There's a lot of gifts and talents on the inside of you. God has filled us with so many precious treasures. But you know what? Sometimes those treasures are hidden. What is it that hides our treasures? What is it that hides our love, that hides our kindness and our compassion? It is those ugly things of fear, those ugly things of defeat, self-defeating thoughts. I can't do it. I'm not capable. I'm not smart enough. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not skinny enough. I can't do it. I can only do so much. Who told you that you can only do so much? The last time I read that book in Romans 8 and 28, he said you can do all things through Christ who gives you the strength. So I say to you today that you have what it takes to become the best version of yourself. And when you become the best version of who you are, guess what? You can't keep it to yourself. You can't hold it to yourself. Because why? It's not about you, but it's about you serving yourself to the world. It's about you serving yourself to humanity. It's about you serving yourself to your family. It's about you serving yourself to your community. It's about you serving yourself to your, maybe your ministry, to your church. It's about you serving yourself in your business. Okay? It's not about you. That's why, ladies and gentlemen, you must do the introspective work so you can be the best version of you, that you can be a blessing and a gift to so many other people. So guess what? Let's do the work. Who's ready? Who's ready out there today in YouTube to do the work? Who's ready today on Facebook to do the work? Comment, yes, I'm ready. If you are ready to do the work. And remember, I'm here with you on your journey. So you can contact me at my email, uniquelyyours28yahoo.com, and you can say, Angela, I'm ready to do the work. You can message me and say, Angela, I'm ready to do the work. But guess what? More than meets the eye will help you. Sometimes will help you start that process. Now, some of you may be already in process, because I was in process already. But I had to go back. I had to kind of, retract. Now I'm talking about on myself. I'm not talking about rehearsing old hurts and disappointments and breakups and things of that nature. I'm not talking about going back to that. I'm talking about sitting with yourself in a quiet place and just tuning in to your thoughts and listening to the internal dialogue that's going on inside of you. So I want to share one of the key factors for you to become more self-aware. It was actually referenced out of Psalms 139 for me. But one of the key factors in doing the work of self-awareness, it helps you to align yourself with your purpose. It helps you align yourself with your purpose, not with what you want to do, but what God wants you to do. I'm gonna say that again. Not with what you want to do, but what God wants to do. Proverbs says a man plans his ways. It's good to have a plan. We must have a plan. But the part B of that said, but God orchestrates his steps. So in other words, have your plan, make your plan. We must have a plan for life. God is looking for you. He is expecting you to have a plan. But I want to caution you. I want to warn you, be open. Be open to God infiltrating your plan and rearranging some things in your plan, reconstructing some things in your plan, redirecting some things in your plan. Be open to that because it will happen. But the good thing about it is when you decide to make that plan, you give God something to work with. If you do nothing, nothing happens and nothing changes. So, doing the work of self awareness helps you to align yourself with your purpose. What is it? What is it? I say to you on Facebook, I say to you on YouTube, what is your purpose? Do you know why you're here? Do you know why He created you? Do you know what you are supposed to be doing while you're here living in earth? So, I'm not going to go into details with that. But another thing it does is it helps you to see your intricate makeup, your complex makeup inside of you. Psalm 139, it talks about we are fearfully and wonderfully made in His image. We're fearfully and wonderfully made. In other words, we're complex. Now, I know some men, a lot of men would agree uh, that we as women, we are very complex. We are all complex, men and women. So there's no agenda, no certain agenda, because that's how He made us, fearfully and wonderfully. And we are so complex that it would take us a lifetime to figure it out. But when you discover those intricate things about yourself that makes you unique and makes you different, then you can really effect and make an impact in the world and in the place where you are. So Psalm 139 says this, "Oh Lord, you examine me and you know. You know when I sit down, you know when I get up. Even from far away, you understand my motives." Let me tell you something. God knows all about you. He knows your intentions. He knows your motives. He knows your thoughts before you even communicate your thoughts. You carefully observe me when I travel, when I lie down to rest. You are aware of everything that I do. I want to read it to you in the Amplified version. That was the NET version. It says, "Oh Lord, you have searched me thoroughly and have known me." I must say to someone today, God knew you before you even knew yourself. He knew what family you would be born into. He knew what lineage you would come from. And in the acronym, the Royal Exceptional Authentic Lady, the royal piece is talking about your divine lineage. We come from a place of royalty. We come from God. We come from God. And so he knew where to place you. He knew what family to put you in. He knew what career to put you in. He knew what type of business to put you in because he already knew you. He knew what your behaviors would be. He knew your thought patterns. He knew what decisions that you would make. So it's not by accident or not by chance. So I do want to pause and say to someone out there today at YouTube and on Facebook, if you're questioning where you're supposed to be, and God already knew you were going to be right where you are. Now, if you're in a place and in a space that is not conducive to your purpose and to your growth, I will encourage you to do the work, to transition into the place where you should be and what you deserve and what God has already ordained for your life. Because our lives are the sum total of our decisions. And so everything that we do is by choice. He does not force us to do anything, but we choose our course. So he knows you. He knows when I sit down and when I rise up. My entire life, everything I do, he already know. You understand my thoughts from afar. He already knows what you're thinking. He knows what you would think a year from now. That's how detailed into us he is. And so that's why I'm challenging you to do the work of introspection so you will know yourself, even when situations happen, even when trials come to you, even with tests, when you're tested, when you're challenged in areas, when you have done the work, the introspective work, it won't knock you off your rockers. It will not knock you off your feet. You will be so better to walk through it, to handle it, because why? He's walking with you, and you've learned how to govern yourself. You learn how to keep your emotions intact. You know, I used to hear people say this a long time. I don't hear it as much as I used to. I think people just do it now. They would say, oh, they don't want to mess with me because if they do, they don't want to say that to me. If they do, I will give them a piece of my mind. Who's worth you giving a piece of your mind? God gave you your mind. Don't waste your time and your energy on negativity. Don't waste your time and your energy on foolishness, but use your time and your energy to hone your skills, to hone and develop yourself, and to focus in on the things that really matter. One more scripture says, you scrutinize my path and my lying down, and you are intimately acquainted with all my ways. Man, he is so into you that he don't even want you to make certain decisions or to move in a certain direction. But again, I must say this. Our life is a sum total of our decisions. And so when you doing the work of self-awareness, remember I said to identify your strengths. And this is simple. This is simple. You can just take a notebook, a piece of paper. You can use your devices and just start making a list of what areas am I strong in. You know, I'm strong in encouraging people. I have a lot of fortitude. I have a lot of inner strength. I'm strong in that. I'm a person that loves people in spite of. What are your strong areas? I'm an administrator. I mean, it's just so many things. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I love to serve. I'm strong in those areas. I'm just naming to you a few things. Um, I'm resourceful. I'm resourceful. You may be a resource. You may be someone that's a good connector, connecting people together, for a purpose, connecting people together for the betterment of a community. You may be a realtor. You may be some type of technician, an engineer. You may be someone that's an attorney. What type of attorney are you? What areas are you strong in? What areas are you strong in? Identify those areas. Identify those areas. And I promise you, when you do that identification piece and do that list, you're going to end up with a whole lot of things on your list. I sat down and did this one day, and before I was done, I was already amazed at how many things I had on my list. I did a 1, 2. I'm giving y'all a tip here. I did a 1, 2, 3 list. So before I think about 10 minutes was over, I had 50 things on my list. Then I came back as things started coming to me, because it all won't come to you at one time. I now have over 100 things on that list. Those are things that I'm good at. I don't have my list out right now, so I can't run it down to you. So if someone has told you otherwise, don't believe them. They used to say when I was a teenager, don't believe the hype. Don't believe the hype. Identify those challenges alongside of that. And then you will see some things about yourself. So ask yourself, how do I show up? Because these things are going to help you to see, how do I show up? How do I show up in the meeting? How do I show up in the boardroom? How do I show up in the school? How do I show up on the platform? How do I show up with my wife, with my husband? How do I show up with my children? How do I show up with my interaction with my father, with my mother, with my siblings? How do I show up? Let me tell you something. The introspective work affects every area of your life. So I will say this to some of you out there today. You think that broken relationship with your family member is not affecting you because why? Oh, maybe I have this great job making 6 figures. Maybe I have all these friends across the world. I have friends in high places, and maybe I'm very successful. I'm doing so great. I'm driving this. Let me tell you something. It's all about relationships. We were designed to have relationship and community with one another. And I must serve notice. God is not pleased when we're out of fellowship with those that he have allowed us to be around in our lives. I don't know who that's talking to, but that's talking to somebody. Somebody needs to mend a broken relationship. I don't know what relationship you are struggling with right now. I don't even know what relationship that you have shut the door on. You say, forget it. I'm not dealing with them anymore. Let me tell you this, Facebook, YouTube, I'm not sharing with you something that I have not walked through. Everything that I say on this broadcast, I walked through it. And someday I'm still walking through it. There must come a time that we reconcile, because it's all about us reconciling with him first and with those that we are in community and commune with. So do the work and ask yourself. That's part of doing the work. Ask yourself this hard question. How do I show up? Oh, but better yet, let's ask somebody else. Ask somebody that's not going to stroke your ego. Ask somebody that's going to be truthful and real with you. That will help you to take a look at yourself. So I want to encourage you to do, those of you that purchase more than meets the eye, I want to encourage you to make sure that you do that personal assessment that I have provided for you in the book, because that personal assessment is going to tell you a lot of things that you, oh yeah, yeah, that is me. Yeah, you're gonna start identifying yourself more, and it gets real specific about your life. It gets real specific about your relationships, how you work, what type of I'm a defender personality. So when you do the assessment, you're gonna know what a defender is, right? So I'm a person that's a mediator, an advocate, and all of that. I'm one that's very loyal and committed. So those of you that know me, that are in relationship with me, you know how important that is to me. But it gets very detailed, and it breaks it down. If you're a person that's very observant versus a person that's very judgmental. So I just give you a little tip on that. So, but that's where we are with that. And so I just encourage you today. I want to just share those tips with you. I pray that this has been something that is helping and has helped someone, because these are some of the tools and the tasks that I've walked through. And I'm here to coach you along this journey and help you walk through. It's a process, I must say. It takes time. But one thing about it, audience, if you remain teachable, trainable, and coachable, you can always be better. And do the work on you, because you are worth it. And you will be worth it for someone else. Because there's someone else that's looking at your life, and there's someone else that you don't even haven't even met yet that's waiting on you. But you will never get to that person, or that person will not ever attract to you until you do the work. So can real as it is kept. There were days I did not understand why this won't happen to me. Why this haven't happened for me? Why haven't I accomplished this yet? But it was because I was my own self's hindrance. But when I decided to do the work on Angela, then my whole life started transforming, and my whole story began to change. And so now, today, I'm better for it. I'm better for it. I'm still on the journey. I'm still on the journey. But guess what? I know that I'm not on the journey by myself, and neither are you. So I ask that you would please share this message, like and subscribe, follow, leave us a comment, reach out to me personally. I am a personal person. I'm a one-on-one person. I love people. And so I'm here for you through this whole process. I thank you so much for tuning in to the Angela Hayes podcast, where we provide insights, information, education from those in business, entrepreneurs, professionals, ministers, community members, and leaders. We are here to help you on your journey of purpose. So, with that, I bid you farewell, and I pray that you have a wonderful, magnificent, off the chain week, because I am still processing the conference from last week. That's how heavy it was. That's how powerful it was. And again, I say to my author sisters, congratulations for a job well done, as we stay on the path, as we affect and change the lives of those in our society. God bless to you all. Thank you again for tuning in to this podcast at Angela Hayes, Life with No Limits.